So today is a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news. We'll start off with the bad and then we'll work our way up from there. So today Jeep officially introduced the new Wagoneer. They're saying it's a concept, which gives me a little bit of hope, but not a whole lot, because it looks pretty close to being in production. I've got to say I'm a little bit crushed. I'm not a fan. This Jeep, they're specifically marketing as basically for the upper crust and wealthy community only. One of the descriptions that they used was Jeep is a log cabin in the woods. Wagoneer is a glass house on the ocean. And it just went on and on from there. But they made it very clear that they're not marketing this to the Jeep community. They are marketing this to a completely different set of individuals. I kind of get what they're going with. They're going for like the same thing that Cadillac does with the Escalade and Lincoln does with the Navigator. But I just think it's a bad move. They're really alienating a lot of their community by doing this. And another weird part was, I know this is going to sound terrible, I know they're owned by Fiat, but a French guy talking about Americana and reinventing American luxury is just really odd. It's a really odd choice for them. I know it sounds bad, but that was just how I felt. The styling was terrible. I mean, I kind of knew it was coming from the little snippets and the shots that people have gotten of the camouflaged one driving around. But I knew it wasn't going to be shaped like a Wagoneer. I knew it was going to be shaped like everything else that's already out there. It's just going to be another luxury SUV. But I mean, it's not even close. And with the retro styling that we got with the Bronco that just came out, it really got my hopes up for what Jeep might be doing with the Wagoneer, but I knew it was going to be building up to disaster. It doesn't look like a Wagoneer. It doesn't even look like a Jeep. I mean, the concept has 24-inch wheels. And, I mean, yeah, it's got tow hooks on the front of it that are chromed and you could probably never get anything onto to actually use them. They didn't release what kind of power plant it's going to be. From the pictures you can tell it's got four-wheel low and hill descent, but they had a battery charging port on the side, on the one that they brought out, but they didn't say specifically that is going to have the new 4xe platform that they're doing with the new Wranglers. So I just don't know what to do with that information. Like I saw somewhere it said it was going to have a 10,000 pound towing capacity, which is nice. You basically have to have a decent engine for that, but I mean, the thing is just, it's not made to be a usable vehicle. It's just made for rich people to just drive as a daily driver. I don't even understand. There's 7 screens on the interior. That's going to work out great for anybody who has kids. I can tell you right now that most of those screens are going to be filled with random drinks and sand and dirt. If you actually live like a normal human being with normal kids, that you take your Jeep out to the national parks and the state parks and let them go play in the creeks and streams, and they're going to destroy that thing. I can tell that this is purely just meant for Jeep to get their name into the upper high-end luxury market, and it's not at all being geared for real people. I'm lower middle class, and I have to say that during that release that they had, I just felt like I was being shoved to the side and excluded. Just the way that they were describing it was it was just demeaning, to be completely honest. I know that they're not marketing that vehicle to me. It just, being someone who loves Wagoneers and has for a long time, I grew up with Jeeps. I learned how to drive in a Jeep, spent most of my life driving Jeeps. They were always accessible. I mean, they were as American as it gets. And this just doesn't feel right. But hey, what do I know? I don't design and build and market vehicles for a living. I'm just some regular guy who loves Jeeps. But now, with the bad news out of the way, I've got good news. I have all the parts. I have fuel pump, I have fuel lines, I have vacuum lines, vacuum hoses, filters, everything I need to finally get this thing running. So I'm going to start working today, see what we can do, see if we can get this thing running under its own power, and maybe if we can get it running, get it driving around a little bit, throw a set of tires on it, we might be able to actually take this thing out on the road. And then once I'm able to actually drive it, that's going to give me just a little bit of motivation. So thank you all for this impromptu review of the new Wagoneer, or at least my feelings on the new Wagoneer. And we will see you all next time.